beautifully. So, ideal conditions for the race, could do with it being a little bit warmer on the track. The wind has kept the temperatures down a little bit, but the sun is shining now, so grip shouldn't be a problem. That red striped Audi going through there. I think it was Thomas Schoeffler. But out in front, you'll see the other Audi. There are three different teams. You've got Audi Sport Italia, Christopherson Motorsport, and MTM Racing from Germany. Here we go, Nicola Larini with the orange-fronted Mercedes alongside Johan Christopherson. And waiting for the lights to change for the 99th race of Superstars. Who's going to get the power down? It's Hunter Christopherson to take the lead. He does so. He's got the power down. Four-wheel drive can jump off the line. But there is a lot of torque for those Mercedes. Mercedes in an ideal line, but a little bit on the outside. But he's got the drive. Christopherson needs to keep with him. Oh, look at that, out braking into the corner. You saw what a four-wheel drive machine can do. And I thought he'll take him out of the corner, but Johan Christopherson's having nothing of it. Out in front, and four-wheel drive power will drive away from Andrea Larini. A little bit of a straight, though, and the Mercedes should be able to catch. Andrea Larini knew he was onto a little bit of a problem here. Biaggi in third place, Liuzzi in fourth place, then Gianni Morbidelli, Cini, Pigoli, Scheffler in that order. Christian Fittipaldi down in ninth, Gabellini in 10th, and starting to lock up now. That's Christian Fittipaldi with the Swiss team, Maserati Quattroporte. But look at the gap. Look at the gap through the corners. And Johan Christopherson, he was so focused in qualifying, just didn't want to get held up here. And Gianni Morbidelli was held up there, definitely, as a BMW. I think it was a BMW that went past him. A little bit confusing at the start, but that's Christopherson out in front. Andrea Larini's got a little bit of a gap as well. But Liuzzi's under a bit of pressure. On board the number 45, Gianni Morbidelli, just behind Liuzzi. And he'll want to get past Liuzzi as soon as possible. Corners are good for him, especially with that Audi RS4 four-wheel drive and the way they can brake later and get the power down earlier out of corners. But Liuzzi, former Formula One driver, I will remind you, no slouch, even when it comes to these closed-wheel super touring cars, the big V8s. Now out in front, look at this, it's a big battle behind him. It's Liuzzi and Morbidelli again. Liuzzi's trying to cover his line. No Gianni Morbidelli's there. Christopherson has got a 1 second gap on Larini in second place, and it's 1.4 seconds back to the battle between Liuzzi and Morbidelli. And then Tom Biaggi, nearly said Max, can't do that. Tom Biaggi just in front of Francesco Cini there, the BMW in front of the orange and black Chevrolet Lumina. Down in sixth place, Max Pigoli carrying all that weight behind them in the Jaguar. And Anna Mikkola not doing too badly at all. He's in front of Maloney, but just behind Max Mugelli. But look at this, a gap opening, and Larini needs to keep his powder dry here. Oh, there goes Gianni Morbidelli, takes a corner and past the former Formula One driver. But again, remember this, Gianni Morbidelli also has Formula One experience from quite a few years back. Although Liuzzi was in there last year, Gianni Morbidelli has kept his racing skills alive with all sorts of stuff after coming out of Formula One, and he knows these cars, and he knows the Audi, he knows what it can do. Antonio Liuzzi on board with him in the number 54 car in fourth place now. Shows in third, but it is now in fourth with Morbidelli going past him. Take a breath, take a breath. Behind him, Tom Biaggi will be chasing him. He's only 0.7 of a second down. And Tom Biaggi's fan club's out in force. On board with the number 45. And swings wide, and guess who's going to come up the inside? Gianni Morbidelli, there he is. So Morbo done what he needed to do. As I said, the big, powerful cars on a little bit of a hiding here, especially in the corners. That's where he went past. So Christopherson leads. And is that lead growing? It is indeed. Larini not being able... And look at the front of that. Still a problem, I seem to think, with the bonnet of those Audis. They flap about in the wind like crazy. And last time we saw Gianni Morbidelli with a problem with the bonnet. Look at that, how Larini has closed down on him. Just needs a little bit of a straight. I think Christopherson, speaking with Johan earlier, and he said, probably I'm going to try to conserve my tyres a bit. through this race. And I did actually say I don't think you should here, because they're going to be all over you. Nobody's going to bother about trying to conserve tyres here. It's the brand new Hankook tyres, the Ventus 200 series that they're using. And these tyres, it's so unusual that no driver in the paddock since we've had the Hankooks has said anything about, I've got tyre problems, it's the tyres. They've never used that as an excuse. So Hankook doing very, very well here. Oh, look at this. Here comes Tom Biaggi. Tom Biaggi. It's past Liuzzi as well. So Tom Biaggi on a charge. There he goes, past Liuzzi. And the BMWs are very, very sweet handling machines, and this is a handling circuit. Brew power counts for naught unless you've got a long, long straight, and they do have some. So it's trying to weather the storm. Look at this, Francesco Cini's having a look now. Liuzzi's got Francesco Cini on his tail. Cini, a little bit of a wild driver at times, but now he's got a totally rebuilt Chevrolet Lumina underneath him. He's doing very well indeed. Christian Fittipaldi down in 8th place, I think it is. Yes, just behind Max Pigoli, and he's going to find it hard to get past Max Pigoli. But Max is carrying all that extra weight. I remind you, number 6 behind him is Stefano Gabellini. And, well, take a breath, take a breath. Christopherson put in a fast lap. And Gianni Morbidelli has just put in his fastest and the fastest lap of the race, 1:49.6. Morbidelli's trying to close on Larini, and Christopherson in front of him on board with the number 54 now of Liuzzi. And in front of him is Thomas Biaggi. There's the power, but Biaggi's got it covered and is not letting Liuzzi past. Christopherson in first place, Larini second, Morbidelli third, then Tom Biaggi and Liuzzi. That big battle still going on. Francesco Cini in 6th place, Max Pigoli 7th, Christian Fittipaldi 8th, Stefano Gabellini 9th, and Andrea Boffo in 10th. Then Tom Schoeffler outside the top 10, and Anna Mikkola is starting to harry him now, but he's not doing times quick enough. He's in front of Max Mugelli now in 12th place, but he's doing a 1:43. Everybody in front of him's doing 1:53s. Everybody in front's doing 1:52s at the moment, but behind him they're down in the 1:55s. Christopherson still hasn't been able to open that gap too much. And behind Larini, Morbidelli is coming. Morbidelli's on a charge. And Larini, oh, look at this. The way they can put that RS5 wherever they like on the track. That's the advantage of four-wheel drive, especially through the corners here. Brake late into the corners, accelerate earlier, get the power down as hard and as quick as possible, and those RS5s do it. Look at this, Cini now. Cini on the back of Liuzzi. Liuzzi, quite a surprise here. Maybe there's something wrong with the handling of the car, but he's being eaten up here. First by Morbidelli, then Biaggi. And now Cini's on his case, and they're starting to pile up behind him because Max Pigoli's there. Remember Max? Yep. Carrying that extra 85 kilos really counts here, even though you're talking about cars that weigh in the region of, Christian Fittipaldi up the inside, and he was taking no prisoners there. And so Max Pigoli getting a dose of his own medicine that he's so often passing out, and as he's passing out to Stefano Gabellini as well. And look at this, I think that's Boffo, one of the Roma Racing Mercedes, trying to get up through the middle of the whole lot, not being able to do it. Thomas Schoeffler with the red and silver Audi behind him, just looking at what's going on in front of him. So far, we haven't lost anybody. So far, nobody's gone off, but there's been quite a little bit of bumping and barging around here. Thomas Schoeffler just behind Boffo there with the Roma Racing red, black and yellow Mercedes. There's Christian Fittipaldi. Another look at this. Scrapes off the paint of the inside of Max Pigoli. And Morbidelli still hasn't been able to get past Larini. But Larini's in a big, heavy car. And I expect that Gianni Morbidelli doesn't want Christopherson to get away. He wants to get past as soon as possible. But look at Larini. Oh, look at that. Bang the power on early. That Audi RS5. Oh, sticking it to them. Now, there's the red flag to the ball. Christopherson, the youngster, in front of Morbidelli now. Morbo wants this. He wants this more than anything. Focus in his eyes during this weekend in the paddock. Not a lot of talking from that guy. Larini trying to stay with him, but he's got a big gap now. Big gap over Tom Biaggi in 4th place of over about 5 seconds. Just over 5 seconds. But Gianni Morbidelli is really tooling that RS5 around. and stretching its possibilities. This is where it was. Power down. Four-wheel drive power out of the corner. And that beats the rear-wheel drive, even though it's got superior torque and horsepower of Lorini's Mercedes. And that is the red flag in front of Gianni Morbidelli at the moment. On board with the number 45, you were. And that fight put them down in the 50s again. Christopherson 150.4, Gianni Morbidelli 150.1, even that after that pass. And look at this, City having a look at Liuzzi, unable to find a way past. City in sixth place, Liuzzi in fifth. And Anna Mikola, always having problems with braking into the gravel, but he's out again, but he's lost a shed load of places. So he'll be way down and even off the first page. And he really does need to get to grips with the weight and braking characteristics of the lad. City's finally managed to do it. And I think Liuzzi left the door open a little bit there. Vitantonio Liuzzi, it says in the middle of your screen, number 54, we're on board with him. And Francesco City will be carrying that Scout proudly now, passing last year's Formula One driver. And City's out in front, in front of Liuzzi. He's not in front, but he's now into fifth place. Doesn't realistically look like he's got a podium chance because Biaggi's in front of him and he is 5 seconds down on Lorini, who's in third. Another look at that passing manoeuvre, and that was a big barn door that Liuzzi left open there. And City's starting to stretch it, so I would expect Liuzzi's got some problems because now he's under threat from Christian Fittipaldi, who's behind him. Stefano Gabellini just entering a picture there behind Christian Fittipaldi. And this is it. Gianni Morbidelli has closed that gap on Christopherson. So the battle is on between the two RS5s. In the past, we've seen reliability problems for these two. But if it all holds together, especially under what Gianni Morbidelli is going to push this car to do, Christopherson knows he's got the varsity behind him, and that gap has closed precipitously. Morbidelli, again, the fastest lap of the race, 149.4 against Christopherson's 150, almost dead. So, when can Gianni? It's not a question of how, and he's seesawing at the wheel. How can he get past? That's what it's going to be, because he doesn't want Christopherson in front of him. Christopherson was so focused. Christopherson is a real fighter. Absolutely pedal to the metal. 24 years old. Junior Touring Car Championship, 2008 Swedish Touring Car Championship, all the way through 2009, 2010, in the Scandinavian Touring Car Cup, Porsche Carrera Cup, Endurance, and Porsche Cup Germany, and now moved over here, and he's under threat from Gianni Morbidelli. 3 Superstars championships has got Gianni Morbidelli under his belt. He wants another one. And Anna Mikola into the pits. So obviously that foray into the gravel might have done something to the car. And Gianni Morbidelli is like biting the heels of Christopherson now. Christopherson focused, most definitely, and he will be a difficult man to fight with, especially if the car's right for him, because he is so dedicated to the win. There's absolutely nothing that he wants more than to win, and to beat Gianni Morbidelli, he's going to have to go hard. So far, driving a cool race, getting the line. Oh, there's no way through for Gianni Morbidelli at the moment. Andrea Lorini's just put in his fastest time of the race, 149.9. And that is matching Christopherson and Morbidelli in front of him. So it's not losing time at the moment. But you've got to reckon on Gianni Morbidelli and trying to make a pass. There's an Anna Mikola and a shrug of the shoulders out of race 1, but he'll be back for race 2. He's learning all the time and getting to grips in race conditions with this big, heavy, yes, powerful, but needs to let the big Jaguar run itself through corners. And They do settle, they bounce around a lot, can be unnerving, but they do settle very quickly, and the Hankook tyres do grip very well around this track. Number 45 plays number 46. Christopherson in the lead. Gianni Morbidelli 0.1 of a second. There's nothing behind him. You can't get a cigarette paper between them. Almost a little door left open. And tried to sucker Gianni Morbidelli through, I think, was Christopherson. Tried to sucker him through into a really late braking and let him run off, but I think Morbidelli is wise to that. Stuck right with him. Larini is still there. But this is a tremendous battle at the front. Still 10.5 minutes left to go. Plus 1 lap. They do a plus 1 lap in this, so when it runs down, they get another extra lap. But remember, have a look at what's happening between Biaggi, Cini, Liuzzi, Fittipaldi and Gabellini at the back, because if Gabellini starts in 8th place, he will finishes in 8th place, he will start race 2 in pole. So there's a separate battle going on there. Left and right, there goes Gianni Morbidelli again, but Christopherson's got it covered. A little tag from Morbo on the back of Christopherson, that won't worry him at all. He's been through this all before, even at the young age of 24. He knows about touring car racing. Audi Sport Italia plays Christopherson Racing. This is Christopherson Racing's own car, their own Audi. They all sit under the same awning in the pits, but they are different teams. Must admit that I've grown to really like this RS5. I think it looks aggressive. I think it looks powerful. I think it's got big shoulders, lots of presence on the track, and shoulders its way through. But Morbidelli is having problems. He thought that with a little bit of threat, a little bit of bullying, maybe Christopherson will crack. But Christopherson, a wise head on young shoulders, hasn't yet. He's put in his fastest lap of the race last time round, 1:49.86, but still Morbidelli was faster. And Morbidelli is using all the track and more, all of the curbs. You see the car lurching as he tries to shave off more millimeters on every corner. Larini still not getting dropped, but Liuzzi. Oh, he's gone off as well, locked up the front wheel, Liuzzi. How he managed to keep that place, I've got no idea, but Christian Fittipaldi's all over the back of him. Gabellini's having a look-see as well. Fittipaldi trying to get in place for the corners, got past him. Gabellini, oh, that BMW is so nimble, slips past as well. He uses the big body of the Maserati Quattroporte to get through. Liuzzi has got no answer, absolutely no answer. He's tried everything with that car racing Mercedes, and look at the power. It's got the power down, so Gabellini will need to watch out for that next time around. I'm sure he's going to have a go at passing him again, but the power of the Mercedes does count. And Liuzzi, not a slow driver. No, you can't call any ex-Formula 1 driver a slow driver, but maybe Gabellini hasn't got any answer to this talent that has just come into the Superstar Series. Christian Fittipaldi getting a little bit of a wake-up call. Had the best car from last year, Andrea Bertolini's winning car from last year, the championship winner, and yet looking a little bit second rate in this company, especially with the advent of the new RS5. We've been waiting for it to come along, and this circuit suits it down to the ground. Would have expected Gabellini to be able to get past. But look at that, Liuzzi, diving through the waves of the gravel trap there. Still manages to keep it in front of Christian Fittipaldi, but not for long. Fittipaldi has gotten past, and so did Gabellini, but Liuzzi taken. Gabellini can't do anything about Fittipaldi at the moment. Battle still rages at the front. I think Morbidelli has taken a little bit of a breather on Christopherson. He's tried what he needed to do to bully him. Let's see what the times are like next time around. And that bonnet still flapping on all of them. I still call it a little bit of an aerodynamic problem. Oh no! Nico Calderola, was that a lock-up? Or was there smoke coming off? There's definitely something wrong with his car. Smoke coming off the rear tyre here. No, I think that's an engine problem. He must know about that. He must pull over transmission or engine problem, but there's definitely oil smoke coming out of there. Once again, Gianni Morbidelli's closing up on Kristoffersson. So poor old Nico Calderola. He runs the Roma Racing team. Has Boffo as a teammate, the young 17-year-old. Boffo showing him a way to go, but is in 9th place at the moment, just put in his fastest lap of the race. Biaggi and Cini both putting in their fastest lap of the race, but it's Kristoffersson and Morbidelli. They're the only two in the 49s at the moment. Morbidelli holds the best at the moment with 49.46. Oh, and he's right up tagging once again, Kristoffersson. And Kristoffersson a little bit wide, but he's used to this kind of tagging. Most of his life has been spent in touring car championships. So knows where he needs to be and can control it. But once again, Gianni Morbidelli starting to bully him. We've only got 5 minutes left of this race, plus 1 lap. And they're 3.7 seconds ahead of Andrea Lorini. Tom Biaggi, another 5 seconds back on them. And Morbidelli has he shot his bolt? He just tried everything to try to get past Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson having none of it. A really calm, cool, calculating drive from Kristoffersson. Puts that car just a couple of inches to the left, to the right of where Gianni Morbidelli really wants to go and can't get there. Again, tries to swing wide. Has a look at the inside. Kristoffersson still not giving him the space. Beautiful driving from Kristoffersson. And Morbidelli still trying to bully his way through, taking gravel and dust off the edge of the track. But you need eyes in the back of your head, and I think maybe Kristoffersson has got that. He's seeing what Morbidelli can do, and he knows that's where he wants to be. Oh, Morbo almost got a nose in front. Could have been a tag situation there to swing Kristoffersson wide. Four-wheel drive will help you a little bit if you do get tagged from behind, but not too much, especially these are big and heavy RS5 V8s. Kristoffersson still has it though. Gianni Morbidelli must be getting so frustrated. Drop back a little bit again. Lorini's not in this anymore. 4.5 seconds back, but he's 6.1 seconds in front of Tom Biaggi. So this is the battle on track. First blood so far to Kristoffersson, but has Morbidelli still got a little bit left? Has he got something from his vast experience of racing that he can do about the young 24-year-old in front of him? I don't think so, to be honest, the way Kristoffersson has driven so far. And Morbidelli has driven furiously to try to pass him. So who's going to be suffering the most with tyre wear? And I suspect it's Gianni Morbidelli. Oh, it's perfect coming off of there. But not quite. Something has happened. I think one of the tags that Morbo has done on Kristoffersson has lost some of his bodywork. He's flapping away in the breeze here. Hasn't slowed him down yet. Gianni Morbidelli. He's on the wrong side for the corner. Kristoffersson, look at the back of that. It's the side. I think it's where he got tagged by Gianni Morbidelli. And it was loose. And that bump just over the curbing has shook loose something. So far hasn't slowed him down. Kristoffersson still in with this. 2.5 minutes left plus 1 lap. And Gianni Morbidelli, what can he do? If anybody has lost tyres more, it will be Morbidelli, in ferociously trying to do something about the youngster in front of him. Bodywork still flapping in the breeze. But Kristoffersson so far has got it covered. 2 minutes dead plus 1 more lap. Look at that bodywork hanging off here. And the team having a look. Team principal of the Audi RS5 is Emilio Radaelli. He's looking after everybody in the look. And a close look at that bodywork's not hurting him at the moment. And once again, Gianni Morbidelli has a look at the inside. But Kristoffersson, look at that, inch perfect out of there. The flapping bodywork won't bother him. Back marker gets out of the way. Francesco Ascani, I think that is. And Ascani with the Toddy Course BMW sees bits of RS5 go past him. Just over a minute left. Christopherson out in front, and Morbidelli unable to do anything about it. That slight tag could have hurt either one of them. At the moment, it's Christopherson with the bodywork flapping. It could easily have been Gianni Morbidelli with the front wing starting to flap, but it hasn't been so. Still trying to put himself in a place where he can pass Christopherson, and it looks like he'll be in a place where he can do a banzai outbreaking move. But if he does that, he runs the risk of Christopherson just letting him go through, letting him run wide, and then taking him again. Audi versus Audi out in front for race 3, the 99th race of Superstars. And Morbidelli all race long has been unable to do anything about the flying Johan Christopherson, and he hasn't got long to do it either. 25 seconds left when they cross the start and finish line again. It will be the last lap. And behind Max Christian Fittipaldi in front of Liuzzi. Liuzzi's having a bite back. Gabellini still with him, but this is a battle for 6th, 7th and 8th places. Liuzzi on board with him, looking at the back of Christian Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi took him because Liuzzi ran over the gravel. Gabellini got past, but the power of the car racing Mercedes took Gabellini. Gabellini's been able to stay with them in the corners because of the agility of the BMW, but hasn't been able to get past. Biaggi in 4th place, Cini in 5th are out of sight at the front of these. They've got clear track both in front and behind them. Not in a battle, but this is a battle over 6th, and there's honour at stake here between Liuzzi and Fittipaldi. Christopherson crosses. They must have got there. They are. They're going to cross the start and finish line now for the very, very last lap. And Christopherson leads on the final lap. Gianni Morbidelli, if he's going to do anything, it has to be now. You've got the Tamburello coming up, then Villeneuve, maybe Tolsa. Maybe he can do something at Tolsa. And if not, he'll certainly have a go at Piratella. Look at this. Through the Tamburello, he's right up close. Then Villeneuve. Can he do anything? Not through the Tamburello. Villeneuve maybe positioning himself here. And still right behind him. Coming up to Tosa in the wrong place. Tags him again. Oh no! And an oil line has gone. Oh no, Morbidelli. And I did mention that tagging can work both ways, and Morbidelli tagged once too much, and I think the oil lines go to the front. Somewhere around here just exploded underneath him, and Morbidelli is out. Oh wow, Christopherson weathered the storm, and I thought it might be Tosa. Tagged him at Tosa, trying to push him a little bit wide and go through, and that oil line went. There's a problem with the RS5s because that's the second time an oil line has parted, and that's definitely what it was underneath the bodywork in the front of the Audi. They'll certainly have a look at that, see if they can protect that a little bit more, because tagging often occurs here. Bang! And smoke fills the cockpit, and Gianni Morbidelli immediately realises what's happened, pulls over, and points have gone. Points have definitely gone for Morbidelli, but push is what racers do. Christopherson, nobody to threaten him. He's 7 seconds in front of everybody else now. Knows that Gianni Morbidelli is out of the picture. And round he'll come to take a famous victory here. Johan Christopherson, the eagle-eyed youngster, 24 years old, from Christopherson Motorsport, takes the win here and has blunted what Gianni Morbidelli could do against him. So much so that Morbidelli doesn't finish in this. Lorini on the podium, and Tom Biaggi, the fan club, will be ecstatic that he gets a podium out of this. But 13 seconds down on Christopherson, and 5.8, nearly 6 seconds down on Andrea Lorini. And then Francesco Cini, who is 6 seconds behind him. Told you they were out on their own. Fittipaldi takes 5th place, holds Liuzzi behind him. Gabellini can't get past Liuzzi, takes 7th place. Boffo 6 seconds behind them in 8th place. Thomas Schoeffler comes just behind Boffo. The two youngsters at it hammer and tongs through the race. Thomas Schoeffler in 9th place. Max Pigoli, well, down in 10th. He'll certainly lose some weight off of that car for race 2. And, well, it's been like this for years. Every race, a battle royal And certainly we've seen one here with the Audis in a track which I said suited them down to the ground. Andrea Larini, we'll have to admit that he was carrying a weight penalty from the last race as well by 40 kilograms, so maybe that was what blunted his progress. Andrea Larini saying that in third place, and he was carrying an extra 20 kilograms from his performance. Another look at that tag, and I'm sure it's an oil line. Vulnerable spot just underneath the wing of the Audi RS5. But saying that, as soon as the oil came out, flamed, and then everything went out. Safe car, that is. Got smoke in the cockpit, so a little bit of a scare for Gianni Morbidelli, but a beautiful win for Johan Kristoffersson. Nobody's going to stop him on this race, not even the vastly experienced Morbidelli. Morbidelli coming off worse. Oh. And Cini not doing too badly either in fourth place, seeing as he was carrying a weight penalty as well. Only 10 kilograms, but it all helps. Right next to the driver in the car is a little box where they'll put the penalty weights in, and Cini will lose that for the next race because he finished off the podium, so he'll lose that 10 kilos for race 2. But in race 1, there it is, Johan Kristoffersson, Audi RS5 takes the win. From Larini and Tom Biaggi. Then sitting in fourth place, Christian Fittipaldi holds on to fifth in front of Liuzzi, Stefano Gabellini in seventh, and Andrea Boffo in eighth place. The ROY by them means that these are the rookie drivers going for a rookie championship ride in AutoGP next year as well. Kristoffersson, slightly damaged. But he's got to be so proud of that drive. So proud of what he's done up against Gianni Morbidelli, three-time SuperStars champion. Andrea Larini pulls in alongside him. And Tom Biaggi on the other side. That was a fight. He knows he's been in a battle for this one. But cool as you like. The tall Scandinavian. Vincenzo Lamelo gives him congratulations from FG Group, and then more congratulations from the team. Couldn't be more ecstatic with that. Andrea Larini, well, you've got to say that that was an absolutely stunning result on a track which really does not suit Andrea Larini's Mercedes AMG C63 Romeo Ferraris team. And possibly a real sweet handling machine, because that might actually be, not too sure. No, it's not. Highlights from race 1, and Thomas Scheffler at the back, but it's Johan Kristoffersson out in front first of all against Andrea Larini. Andrea Larini trying to go with him, but unable to. And Kristoffersson started to gap everybody except for Gianni Morbidelli. Liuzzi was in trouble, carrying some extra weight penalties from his success last time. Christian Fittipaldi starting to bully Max Pigoli out on track, and Larini being bullied in turn by Gianni Morbidelli. Morbidelli desperate to get and close on his teammate Kristoffersson. But Cini going past Liuzzi as well, so that weight that Liuzzi's carrying really hurt him, and locking up under braking, went straight on into the gravel, and that lost him 2 places, one of which he regained. But Fittipaldi got past him first of all, then Liuzzi got him back. Gabellini passed as well, but Liuzzi was able to get past Gabellini. But Kristoffersson leading after being tagged a number of times by Gianni Morbidelli, and tagged once too often. That last tag broke a fuel line on Gianni Morbidelli's car, and he was out of points for second place. Johan Kristoffersson taking the win in race 1, and a famous win, and a well fought for victory as well for Kristoffersson Audi. So there we go, that's the top 8 on the grid, and behind them it is Thomas Scheffler, row 5, heads row 5 in his MTM Audi. Next to him, Max Piggerley. Oh, and look at these weight handicaps. Last year, the weight handicaps changed between races. They're changing between rounds now. So the weight penalties they were carrying in race 1, they will be carrying in race 2. Max Piggerley with his 50 kilos from his victories in Monza. Tonio Liuzzi with 40 kilograms. Andrea Lorini with 20 and Francesco Cini with 10. But Max Biaggi is carrying close to the maximum for the car because he's also got his 25 kilo car penalty, because they have penalties to try to balance the performance of the cars. And the Jaguar is hugely powerful, the most powerful and torquey monster on the track, and it's supercharged as well, so he gets a little bit of an extra weight penalty. They're carrying a personal weight penalty of 10 kilos, so he tells me. So it's quite a lot that he's carrying in that car, and a lot to do from where he is on the 5th row of the grid. On the 6th row of the grid, it's Max Mugelli and the other car racing Mercedes. Next to him, the other Swiss team, Maserati Quattroporte, Mauro Cesari. Then it's Paolo Miloni, the W&D BMW M3. Next to a different M3, the team dynamic one of Sandro Bettini. And I said after race 1 that Sandro Bettini's got a cup, but I don't know what it's for. I did find out because he was the top star driver. There was a class called Star Drivers, and it depends on the experience that you have and probably your age. Nobody says that, whether you're a star driver or not. So we've got the Star Driver Championship, the Rookie Championship, and the overall championship running concurrently in this race. On the 8th row of the grid, Max Fumagalli, the Scuderia Giudici car, and next to him, the old statesman, Walter Miloni in his W&D BMW M3. Row 9, poor old Gianni Morbidelli relegated there after splitting an oil line after a tag on Christopherson in race 1. He's down on row 9 alongside the Tony Corse BMW of 2004 champion Francesco Ascani. Behind him, row 10, Roma Racing's Nico Calderola. Don't know what happened after he was called up to the to talk to the stewards after leaving quite a little bit of oil on the track after an engine blowout, but he is back and racing. Next to him on the grid, Scuderia Giudici BMW M3 of Gianni Giudici, and right at the back, Ananda Mikola, and he's going to have his work cut out from the back row of the grid, especially seeing as he's still trying to get to grips with the car. But get to grips with it, he will. And I don't expect him to stay right at the back there. The Jaguar XFR 5-litre supercharged monster. A little bit different from the Formula 3 cars he's used to. They're being tooled around now under pace car. We wait for the pace car to come in, the lights will change, and the race will be on with the youngster Andrea Boffo leading them out in the Roma Racing Mercedes AMG C63. What is going to happen at the start? This one is very, very unpredictable. Points so far, well, I did mention that nothing's changed really in the point stakes. Piggerley and Liuzzi share the lead at the moment on 41 points. Then Lorini, Biaggi and Christopherson is up there now. But it's all going to change after this one, and a difficult race to call. Very difficult race to call. Boffo, 17 years old, but I've seen him at Monza racing like a true champion, and he's going to be very difficult to pass at the front unless he makes a rookie mistake. We shall see what will happen. A pace car pulls in as they come out of Rivazza and onto the main straight. They'll all be controlled by that young 17-year-old at the front, Andrea Boffo. Stefano Gabellini, massively experienced alongside of him. Red lights are on. Race conditions just to cross the start line, and Boffo will put the hammer down as they cross the line. Stefano Gabellini trying to go with him and crowding him a little bit, but Boffo's got the torque and the power, and that Mercedes roars to the front. Saw Christian Fittipaldi trying to sneak through with the... No, he can't do it, but I think that's Liuzzi there. Liuzzi sandwiched in the middle between Christian Fittipaldi and Francesco Cini, and a big battle behind them. That's allowed Stefano Gabellini to get away. Liuzzi has won the battle, but it's still nip and tuck who's going to be fourth, because Francesco Cini is right there on the inside. And Lorini's trying to come through on Christian Fittipaldi as well. Fittipaldi right the meat in the sandwich there of the Chevrolet and the other Lorini's Mercedes. Lorini still trying to have a look through now. Number 99, Andrea Lorini. While out in front, well, look at this. Andrea Boffo not hanging around at all and leaving Stefano Gabellini in his wake. And there's a little bit of smoke from, I think that might have been Lorini's machine. Not too sure about it. Got to have another look as he comes through. That's Francesco Cini behind Liuzzi. And then it's Fittipaldi next along. Oh, look through the corners. That BMW really caught up. Stefano Gabellini, but there's a straight now. And Boffo will be able to boot that Mercedes down there. As soon as they come to the corner, though, the BMWs are going to close up. And yet the Audis left out to dry. Christopherson down in 9th place. Going to have to work hard because he was in 8th. Piggoli has gone past him. So Max Piggoli has dealt with any threat from Christopherson early in the race. I don't expect that to last, though, because he's running a maximum weight for that Jaguar. And there's some bumping and barging. Lurini there being pushed hard by Tom Biaggi. Tom Biaggi on the inside gets the line. I think that's Piggoli who's trying to chase his way through as well alongside Lurini. Piggoli's got this one unless Lurini keeps to the inside and squeezes Max with the extra weight to the outside. Max has got a lot of power in that supercharged machine, though. But Lurini, no slouch, neck and neck as they come across the line. That's lap 1 already done. Boffo still out in the lead. And a big of a contact there for Christian Fittipaldi. Smoke off his tyre. And missing bodywork on the front left-hand side of the car. Oh, Boffo out in front and still stretching it. On board with Morbidelli. That's Morbidelli, number 45. What can he do? He's in 13th place. He was behind Max Mugelli, but I think he's already dealt with Mugelli. And in front of him, it did look like Mauro Cesare, so I think he's dealt with Mugelli and Schuffler. And got up right behind Mauro Cesare for 10th place. So Cesare in 10th, and I think Morbidelli is into 11th place, so a good leap up from him from way down on the 9th row of the grid. He will have a fight on his hands, though. It's a full 25-minute race with 1 extra lap. Once the clock has counted down, Max Piggoli still pushing hard. Look, this was a little bit of a meat sandwich, being pushed from behind and being held up from the front. Christian Fittipaldi, and I don't know where he picked up the damage. And there's Liuzzi on City, but City's got a really nice, completely rebuilt Chevrolet Lumina underneath his bottom now. And he's not hanging around at all. The confidence has really shown. He was doing a promo shoot in the press box just before the race had started. And Christian Fittipaldi being fitted up by the number 3, Tom Biaggi. No, Tom trying to claw his way through the field. Now up into 5th place. While behind them, they're all trying to sort each other out. And look at this, the youngster, Andrea Boffo. Oh, straight past goes City on Gabellini. There's power for you. City's looking really hot in this race. But can he claw back on Boffo? Experience says he should be able to, and the car is running really well. Gabellini trying to stay with him. And who would have thought at a track like this, the big, muscle-bound, talky cars, and that's Liuzzi in the pits. So Liuzzi coming into the pits. I can hear a rattling. Don't know whether that's a transmission. No smoke from that. I do think it's a transmission failure for Liuzzi. So Liuzzi, the Formula One signing for this year, is out of race 2. And still the battle goes on. Tom Biaggi trying to bridge that gap between Fittipaldi and City. He's in 4th place. Battle's going on a little bit further down. There's Christopherson. Just past Lurini, so he's been able to get past him. And Max Piggoli coming under threat. Oh, and a big tag there. And Max Piggoli, can he get that all together? Oh, there was enough track there for him to get some grip and get back on. But who's come off worse from that? And that looks like Gianni Morbidelli. Smoking from the front. Might have bent something under that car. And it's the other side of the car now. It's the left-hand side of the car from Gianni's point of view. The right-hand side has all been pot riveted together after that problem in race 1. But race 2 and a contact with, bang, there it is, with Max Piggoli. Means that he's got bodywork rubbing on the tyre. And that tyre certainly won't last this race. Max Piggoli, look at that. Bumper cars keeping it all together. Now there's a future Formula Drift champion. Looking at Tony Liuzzi's car. Nothing seems to be able to be done. 3 into 2, just one go. The Lurini just doesn't want to give way here. Christian Fittipaldi and Johan Christopherson with him. Christopherson in the middle there. Very few sponsors on that amazing RS5. That's got to change. And Tom Biaggi in 4th place. You can just see him going through. Christian Fittipaldi with the damaged bodywork, and Johan Christopherson with the cornering ability of that RS5 as he been able to put the boot down. And can he close the door on the Quattroporte? Nah, the Quattroporte's got the legs. Marini's trying to go with him as well, but Johan Christopherson, as we've seen before, loads and loads of touring car experience, gets the car right in the right place. And look, Gianni Morbidelli not giving up. Doesn't look like there's any more smoke coming off that tyre. Might have worn an extra groove in it. Won't give him extra grip, but hopefully it'll last for the rest of the race. And he's got past Marini. That's some furious driving from the former Formula One driver. Mobo Morbidelli is on the charge. And he's come from, as I said, 9th row of the grid. He's now into 7th place. And I think that's Christian Fittipaldi who'll be the next one along, but he's certainly chasing the person, not teammate, one of the people who shares his paddock awning, and that's Johan Christopherson, who's running away from Fittipaldi at the moment. And there's Thomas Scheffler with the red stripes on his Audi in the back behind Larini as well. Max Pigoli still on track in 10th place in front of Max Mugelli, then Mauro Cesare, Nico Calderolo, Sandro Bettini, both Melonis together as number 9 and 10. Fumigali in 17th place and Francesco Ascani in 18th. Black and white flag shown for the number 45. So Morbidelli's got a technical flag being waved at him, and if anything else happens to the car, they'll pull him in. Basically a warning, that black and white flag. But no more smoke coming from that tyre. Looks like he's okay. Oh, but there's smoke coming from somebody else. It's that Cini. That's Francesco Cini. Needs to pull over very, very quick. He's leaving smoke and oil everywhere. He's pulled off as soon as he could. Ah. A damning result for Francesco Cini. Was lying in 2nd place and trying to chase down Boffo. Now he's not there anymore. That means Gabellini's moved up into 3rd place. 2nd. Tom Biaggi into 3rd. And look at this. Gianni Morbidelli swaps left and right, trying to get past Fittipaldi. Both carrying damage to the front quarter of their car. Both on the same side, incidentally. And he can stop a little bit of slipstream so that the Maserati doesn't get too far away, and then just looks for a point to try to break out side. Oh, as sweet as you like. And Christian Fittipaldi locks up a little bit in trying to break to counter that, but he knows he's in the wrong place, has to give way. And Gianni Morbidelli takes another place. Now into 6th place, Christopherson in 5th. That's the next person he's got to try to chase down. Christopherson just put in the fastest lap of the race in that lap, 150.5. And that is over a second faster than Tom Biaggi in front of him. So he's closing down on Tom Biaggi. Meanwhile, the fight between Christian Fittipaldi and Larini is starting to boil up now. Larini wanting to come past. Oh, swings wide. Fittipaldi sees him there. And Thomas Scheffler waiting to pick up the pieces. Just another look at that pass. Gianni Morbidelli out the inside of Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi locks up with a 4-wheel drive and a big bootful of 4-wheel grip. Coming out of that corner means that's all she wrote. And Andrea Boffo, the young 17-year-old, must have thought all his Christmases have come at once. He knows now he's got quite a gap behind him to Gabellini. He's faster than Gabellini. He's just put in his fastest lap of the race, 151.775. Stefano Gabellini is 152.184. Behind him, Tom Biaggi, slightly faster, 151.666. And as I said, Johan Christopherson really got the bit between his teeth, 150.5, closing him down. Should be right on him now because he was only 1 second behind before. And the gap between Christopherson and Boffo is about 5 seconds. Number 45, a drive-through. Gianni Morbidelli has been given a drive-through for that contact on Max Pigoli. And after all that fight from the 9th row of the grid up to 5th place, he's going to have to come in and take a drive through. Hasn't seen it yet, has Morbidelli. Yes, he has, he's seen it. And he's pulled into the pits. And crushing blow again for one of the championship hopefuls. It'll mean he'll score minimum points here. And look at this, Max Piggerley on Thomas Schuffler. Will he be in the right place for the corner though? Because remember, he's up against an RS5. And those things can slam on the brakes like you wouldn't believe. It's got to be like walking through pit lane. Number 45, Gianni Morbidelli, takes his drive-through penalty. And the boot goes down again. There's nothing in front of him. As far as I can see, nothing behind him either. A clear road for Gianni Morbidelli as he rejoins the track. Boffo now nearly 5 seconds in front of Tom Biaggi. Tom Biaggi is trying to close him down because he's in front of Johan Kristoffersson. Stefano Gavellini now down to 4th place. Christian Fittipaldi into 5th, Larini 6th, Thomas Schuffler 7th, Max Piggerley 8th, Max Mugelli in 9th place, and Nico Caldarola, better for him, into 10th place in front of Mauro Cesari, Sandro Bettini, and number 9, which of the Malonis is that? That's a younger Paolo Maloney. So we can take a little bit of a breath now before Boffo comes under threat, and under threat he will come under because Kristoffersson wants 2 in a row. To come off the 4th row of the grid and take another win will be an even bigger feather in his cap, especially for the 100th race of the series. And while they are circulating at the moment, it's interesting technical developments are happening within Superstars. You know, the talkback radio. Oh, I was just about to talk about one of the Jaguars, and Max Piggerley makes a pig's ear of that one. Manages to get back on track again. And I think he's in front of Caldarola now, so I think he's in 9th place. So a big drop for Max Piggerley as they thunder past the broadcast booth and the ground shakes. Kristoffersson, another fastest lap, now into the 49s again. 1:49.8 on qualifying times now. You're looking at Christian Fittipaldi in 5th place with Andrea Larini right behind him. Still hasn't been able to get past, and he's tried for quite a number of laps to do it, dropping Tom Schuffler, which is strange because Schuffler, this should be an Audi track, and he's not being able to get into any kind of battle with Fittipaldi and Larini at the moment. Max Piggerley will be behind him, then Nico Caldarola, then Max Mugelli. And Larini not being able to do anything. Christian Fittipaldi hasn't had long to get used to this car. So it's a real baptism of fire. Remember, he's sharing the car with Mika Salo, who'll be at Donington for the next race. So all through the season, won't get as much experience with this car as he'd really like. Needs to go away and do a little bit of testing all on the slide. You can tell how hard he's trying and how hard he is trying to keep the car under control. Larini is right up his tailpipe though, and any excuse that he gets, he will try to get past. Really happy with his first race results was Andrea Larini. 2nd place in race 1. Wants a bit more of that, but he's down in 6th place at the moment. Tom Biaggi just put in his fastest lap of the race of 1:50.5. But that's not as fast as Kristoffersson, 1:50.1 on that last one. So he's losing time to Kristoffersson all the time, and Kristoffersson now less than a second behind Andrea Boffo out in front. That's a battle that we're going to have a look at very, very shortly, I would imagine, as Larini finally gets past Fittipaldi. And there it is, there's Johan Kristoffersson. And look at this already, he's closed that gap and closed down on Andrea Boffo. So Boffo, all of a sudden, after having nearly a 5-second lead, that was whittled down to nothing. But he's not giving up, using the power of the Mercedes in a straight line, takes it back again, but it's only a matter of time till we get to the gnarly bits where Johan Kristoffersson will get past. These are 2 running for the rookie trophy. Rookie drivers in there. Johan Kristoffersson, 24 years old. Andrea Boffo, only 17. Dad's given him a car. It's a Mercedes C63 AMG, and he's going to enjoy every moment of this. And behind him, Tom Biaggi trying to close up. He's closing the gap on Boffo, but Kristoffersson just has to get past, and I'm sure he'll extend that again. Tom Biaggi, as I said, put in his fastest lap last time around. Thomas Schauffele's starting to wake up a little bit. Just put in his fastest lap, 151.7. Needs to try harder. And look at this. Oh, Johan Kristoffersson's getting a taste of his own medicine that he was handing out to Gianni Morbidelli in race 1, because Boffo is keeping that Mercedes as wide as it possibly can be. Haven't seen any smoking tyres. He's trying to outbrake. He's driving a real clever race. But I still think it's a matter of time before Kristoffersson gets past. Oh, won't get past there. And you're crowding Boffo. Let's see if Boffo, at 17 years old, has got enough composure to... Oh, he's been tagged a little bit, I think, there. There might have been a slight tag by Kristoffersson just behind him. Meanwhile, Tom Biaggi is looking at all of this and closing up at the back of Kristoffersson. If Boffo can keep him behind him for much longer, I'm sure that Biaggi will be able to close that gap. Oh, look at that. And that was a big explosion on the front tyre for poor old Max Mugelli. It's Liuzzi's teammate, so both of the Carl Racing Mercedes out of this race. Max Mugelli circulating down in 16th place, but he's just gone into, must have gone into pit lane or something, because it shows him in 15th now. Don't know why. Pigalik down in 16th place, so his problems just continue. Meanwhile, that's Boffo, your current leader, keeping Johan Kristoffersson behind him. Tom Biaggi thought he'd be able to close that gap, hasn't been able to. Braking hard. There goes Kristoffersson again. Now, what has Boffo got left? There are 2 corners there where Kristoffersson can extend it, but we've got a straight coming up. And there's bits all over the track which are just off the racing line. And I think he's got a bit of a buffer now on Boffo. Unless Boffo can use that power on this long curved straight to get in front of him before they get down to the Tamburello. No, he can't. And I thought it wouldn't take long, but that manoeuvre has allowed Tom Biaggi to close up as well. I think Kristoffersson, that's the last we'll see of him at the front. Well, not at the front, that's the last we'll see of him, because he will try to jump away from this and leave Boffo in the capable hands of Tom Biaggi behind him. Trying to tool these cars around, these big Mercedes around at the same pace as the Audis on a tight little track like this can really wreck your tyres. Although we haven't seen that from Boffo, he's driven a composed race. Eventually, he had to give way to Kristoffersson, who's now set out. And this, I remind you, from 8th, starting 8th on the 4th row of the grid, with 5 minutes left of the race, plus 1 lap, and he's into the lead again. Fastest lap of the race has gone down to Gianni Morbidelli, 149.781. And Morbidelli down in 12th place now. And that mountain will be far too big. Might not even be able to get, well, I think Morbidelli will be able to get into the top 10, but getting past somebody like Nico Caldarola will be slightly difficult. Don't think he's got the time to do it. You never know, though. And look at the gap already. Johan Kristoffersson, number 46, out in the lead. The last time he crossed the start and finish line, it was at 0.2 of a second. It's now gone out up to well over a second. Around about 2 seconds now. But Boffo has now got a mirror absolutely stuffed full of Tom Biaggi. And Tom will want more than the 3rd roster place he had in race 1. But it's more difficult. It's a nimble car, the BMW, but it just doesn't have the superior traction of the 4-wheel drive Audi RS4, which is easily as fast now. Sorry, RS5, the old RS4 was being tooled around last year. We've been waiting actually over a year for the RS5 to come. And when he comes, it just explodes onto the circuit in a good way. Tom Biaggi having a look. And breaks up the inside. And that was clever driving, I thought, from Andrea Boffo. He knew that Biaggi was coming. Knew he couldn't hold him back there. And didn't try to. Just needs to hold his place now and drive conservatively, relatively speaking. Oh, that's Morbidelli. Morbidelli smoking badly. And he's already had a black and white flag. I think he's going to pull over. So, Morbidelli's, and there's a lot of smoke coming out of the back of that. There's Morbidelli going for a pass. This was previously, I don't think he got tagged or anything. I just think that the engine's let go on him. But he's carrying a lot of smoke around here, and I don't know what the stewards are going to make of this. Morbidelli should know that that thing is sprouting smoke out the back of it. It's Paolo Miloni. Number 9, down in 12th place. Kristoffersson, 150.9, extending his lead over Tom Biaggi. Then Boffo, you're looking at the battle between Thomas Scheffler and Christian Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi close up with that damaged front left-hand bodywork. But no oil lines underneath there, unlike the RS5. And it was nip and tuck as to whether Gianni Morbidelli would rejoin the race. The fire with the split oil line underneath his wheel. They thought that it might have burnt through some wiring. Luck would have it, didn't happen, but well, Lady Luck is not riding in the number 45 today. Gianni Morbidelli smoking badly. I think he's still out there. Haven't seen any indication of him coming in. But the battle now between Fittipaldi, Scheffler, and Stefano Gabellini's being reeled in now by Christian Fittipaldi for 5th place. Gabellini's in 5th place, Fittipaldi 6th, Thomas Scheffler 7th. Nico Calderola 10 seconds behind this, and that is raced over for Gianni Morbidelli. Pulls the number 45 in, and another shed load of points lost. And a disastrous race meeting for the 3-time SuperStars champion. And I don't think it was smoke from the tyre that was the problem. It was definitely oil smoke coming out the back. They've got it open, having a look at the engine, and this was previously, no it's not, this is, I don't believe it, this is Kristoffersson, and he's smoking badly as well. Kristoffersson out in the lead, and there's a problem for him as well. 4 seconds in the lead has gone to nothing. 30 seconds left, but he won't be able to complete another lap, not with the car in that state. And reliability gremlins have hit again for the Audi RS5. It is quick, it's devastating on tracks like this, but it is a brand new race car. And Kristoffersson's got to know that there's something happening. He's got mirrors, he will see that smoke, but there is a tendency of a driver to think, can I make it to the end? But that's not what you do, not when you've got another lap to do. The clock has counted down, he'll cross the start and finish line. But with more and more smoke coming out of that, that is terminal. He should pull off straight away, because he will be leaving oil around the track. Kristoffersson's not having anything of it though. And this is where the 24-year-old should use his head. He's got one win in the bag, but look at that smoke. And marshals have to do something about this very, very quickly. He will be spoken to in no uncertain terms, because this is most of a lap he's been going around like this. And even though he's in the lead, this is not done, not on at all. And one has to imagine how much oil is left in that engine when it's burning smoke like that. Certainly hasn't put diesel in the engine, that's one thing I know about. Crosses the start and finish line. This is the final lap, but he really shouldn't be out there. Kristoffersson shouldn't be out there, and I don't know what the stewards are going to make of this. I really don't. Certainly going to be some punishment for that, because he's not giving up on this. If he can get it to the finish, he will. But I haven't seen any flags out there at all. Tom Biaggi sitting behind him. He's not going to close on this, doesn't want to. Boffo's down in third place and Gabellini in fourth in front of Lurini, Fittipaldi, Thomas Scheffler, Calderola, Mauro Cesari and Sandro Bettini. That's your top 10. But this is not on at all. Final lap, and there's smoke and oil coming out of the back of that machine. And I will be surprised. Well, I am going to be surprised, because it does look like it's going to make it to the checkered flag. And Johan Kristoffersson will be saying to himself, whatever happens, I'm going to get this through the checkered flag while I'm in the front. Whatever happens after that, well, that will be out of my hands. I'm racing this. There's Tom Biaggi behind him. And one has to wonder what's being put down on the track. Smoke not dissipating 3.5 seconds later as Tom Biaggi goes through. It's a fog out there on the track. Kristoffersson not backing off. Only a few more corners to go. And he'll take a double win. Out of Rivazza. Around the final turn. And across, the checker flag waves for him. And a win provisionally for Johan Kristoffersson. The team applaud, but I'm sure they're thinking, oh, what the steward's going to say about that. He pulls off almost straight away. If I were you, Johan, I wouldn't even think about doing another lap with that car. Biaggi in second place while all this drama was going on. Boffo, the 17-year-old from pole position in race 2, gets the Roma Racing Mercedes onto the podium. Christian Fittipaldi holds off Thomas Scheffler for 4th place. Scheffler into 5th in front of Stefano Gabellini. Lurini, well, left a little bit on this one. 20 seconds down off the leader. And there was Gabellini. That's the reason I think Gabellini pushed out wide. And yes, Kristoffersson has finally pulled off the track. One would think a little bit too late after the last 2 laps with smoke pouring out of the back of that machine, so much so that I think I can smell it from here. So Kristoffersson, a lap and a half at least with a major engine problem and oil smoke pouring out of the back. I'm sure that the stewards will want to have a few words with him about that. But at the moment, Kristoffersson has got that victory. We will have to see when it comes to podium time what's happened. Maybe they'll get up on the podium and they'll make a decision after that. We will see. But good news for Tom Biaggi and excellent news for Andrea Boffo, the young 17-year-old getting a podium place for Roma Racing. Christian Fittipaldi, well, 5 seconds, 4.2 seconds down on that battle. And Thomas Scheffler almost within sniffing distance of taking another scalp from, well, Fittipaldi was just 0.2 of a second in front of him at the line. Should have really done it at Rivazza before then, but maybe just couldn't. Tom Biaggi's fan club out in force. But Antonio Liuzzi's fan club probably gone home already after Liuzzi pulled in. Bad day for the Carl Racing Mercedes. Both him and Max Mugelli out of the race. And Max Pigoli out as well. Cini retired. Oh, Francesco Ascani retired as well. And Johan Kristoffersson. Well, the fire crew are there just in case. The tall figure of the Swede. And Tom Biaggi's fan club awaiting Tom to come into Parc Fermé, or the winner's enclosure. Cameras out ready. Kristoffersson won't be there. He's parked out on the track with quite a walk to get back, I would imagine, from there. Think he might be down by the Tamburello at the moment. Oh, he gets a lift. Oh, the safety car is out to give him a lift, so he gets back quickly. That's all right. Tom Biaggi's pulled in. The fan club are waiting for him. Second place for Tom Biaggi. Where is Andrea Boffo? Time for Boffo to come in and take his place there as well. Third. There it comes. Roma Racing. Mercedes. Who would have thought he'd get a podium here? Well, clever driving. He's straight up there. He's only a slip of a lad. He's tiny. You can pack him up and take him home in a handbag. You look at him walking around the paddock, you think, oh, it's young Yobbo, I think. Probably left his bicycle parked illegally or something. But no, the young Andrea certainly knows how to drive. Very unassuming gentleman. Very polite and not the racing overalls he actually wants. They've spent a lot of black tape taping up logos over his racing coveralls. Saying something about Thomas, he couldn't keep Thomas behind him, but still a brilliant race, and I bet he's really happy about that. Tiny lad. There's Tom Biaggi. Tom Biaggi, always a showman, does a lot for his fan club. So, drama all the way around, and still I'm fairly iffy about Johan Kristoffersson, because tooling around for 1.5 laps with that amount of smoke coming out the back of the car is just not done. It's just not on. There's something wrong with it. So Kristoffersson still credited as a win, though. With the win for that, the Audi RS5, smoking though it may, in first place. Tom Biaggi in second. Andrea Boffo. Oh, my hat off to him. I boffed my hat to Boffo. He's in third place. Christian Fittipaldi, even with that damaged front, tooling around, got it back in fourth place. Thomas Schöffler unable to do anything about him at the death. In fifth place, Stefano Gabellini, well, from a front row start down to sixth place. And I would have thought the BMW would have been able to do better than that, because Biaggi came from behind him and took him there. So maybe a look at this and getting congratulations. But, well, let's see what happens. The blonde figure of Margot McMillan behind him, making sure that he goes where he's supposed to. And Thomas finally making it to pit lane. Smelling a little bit of oil smoke. Yes, you've got number one, but who's going to talk to you after this? Still haven't seen anything about come to the stewards dungeon on my screen. Come and see the Italian Inquisition. Not yet. So it stands, as far as I can tell, Johan Kristoffersson takes the win and takes a famous double, the 99th race and the 100th race. Here are the standings. He's been given the points, 53 points over Tom Biaggi's 51. Max Pigoli, your former leader, stays on 42 with Vittorio Liuzzi. And Andrea Larini also on 42. So all three together in third.